What's up? What's up? So I was looking at Bitcoin dominance. And seeing some odd at price action here. Somebody from our group, Glacier, actually had plotted this. Caught my eye earlier. I think it was this. Yeah, something along these lines. What this could incur, I mean, usually at the beginning of a big run up in Bitcoin, it's kind of like purging out all of the alts that are worthless, right? Because I'll let you in on a secret if you haven't figured this out. Most alts are worthless. Now, I'm not a Bitcoin maxi by any means. I'm more invested in altcoins. But what I'm saying is, a lot of these alts who have came and had their time to shine, they are not. They're just not, right. They're useless, or their use case is so far out from being adopted. It just, a lot of it's cash grabs. And also, what's good, Brax? I just saw that comment. But that being said, a lot of times, like for instance here, right, January 2018. Let's go look. The all-perp's not going to go that far back. Look in January 2018. Right, that was the beginning of that. I guess you would call it a bear market. Whenever a lot of alts start to die out, this was after the first craze in crypto, right? Now, I really don't think that's something to be worried about as far as using it as a confluence for the beginning of a bear market or anything like that. But I do think we could see some of these, alts that really aren't worth much get purged out in the coming months. This is on a monthly chart too, right? Um, I mean, it's odd to play harmonics on a. This is just the percentage of the dominance of the market cap Bitcoin holds, right? So, I mean, it's kind of weird to play certain strategies, but I have seen them work. Like for instance, money concepts. Obviously, there's no here. There's no orders on this except the futures that they have on Binance, but that's not what's determining the moves this makes. Um, Another perspective too, since we have a C point that is higher than our A point, right? We would be looking for a shark. So when looking for a shark, you can look anywhere from a 91% retracement with 3% error rate, and that's why I was entertaining this 88.7, right? Because a lot of you guys probably were thinking that this was a bat, for those of you who trade harmonics, but it would technically be a shark, right? Why? Because the C point was greater than an 88.6 retracement of A, or AB, sorry. So here you could look for anywhere from this point we're at here all the way really down to 1.16. So there's two takes you could have, and I mean that would be all-time lows as far as Bitcoin market dominance, right? And what would that signify? Well, that would be the flippening of Bitcoin, not total flippening of market cap with Ethereum, but Ethereum getting more of the market cap, which I think it does deserve. I do think that Ethereum is undervalued relative to Bitcoin, right? Why do I think that? Well, it has much more utility, smart contracts, and it's also actually being used um, for NFTs a lot more than Bitcoin. And I think NFTs are really going to dominate any digital asset in the coming year. So that being said, so if we're looking at maybe an alt run, right? Before because if this would mean if we were looking for a more of a price down here, we'd be looking for alts to run, right? Because this doesn't necessarily mean the price of Bitcoin is falling. It just means the value of the market cap of alts is rising, with Bitcoin staying the same or being outperformed. So another chart you can look at to get an idea of this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Now we've been in swings in this in PlayBit for over a month now. I'm sure most people probably have paper handed this by now, but nonetheless, we look really good where we're at. Let me clean this chart up for you so you can see what I'm referring to. So with this Ethereum Bitcoin chart, the only thing I do want to now is we do have some liquidity down here, right? And this, yes, you can use liquidity on this because we are looking just at another currency pair. Just as we look at Bitcoin to the US dollar, we're looking at Bitcoin to, or well, Ethereum to Bitcoin, right? So we do have some liquidity there, right? We could see price move here, but you wouldn't want to see it move much farther down from here. I mean, these are levels back from the crash that we endured last summer. Now, overall, I think this just looks like giant reaccumulation, right? We got our break of structure here, so it was expected to see our profits being taken, right? So that's what we placed. We played a return to origin, right? We dug back into this order block we found in the daily chart, went actually a little lower than it. We may even be looking for something in this region, right? Looking at it from this perspective now, you could say this fair value gap here, right, is being tapped into. That's what seems like is being respected, but we also have this order block just under it. If we go on the 4-hour chart, we can find really all of this down here if you wanted to get technical, but by definition, it's the candle with the biggest body that the candle after pushed through it before a expansive move in price, right? Um, so that being said, there is um, rational bias to believe we would return down to this level. That would be mean a pump for Bitcoin while Ethereum was kind of dormant. Um, but I don't necessarily think this is we are required to come down here before moving up. So if we go back to the weekly chart, we just got a major break of structure right here, right? So I mean, looking at the weekly, your next targets are going to be any major highs, right? We obviously got one right there. Got some huge liquidity up there. And then after that, um, you know, the next major high on the weekly is all the way up here. The level we got off this was from the extension, I want to say, from, well, I think it was this range. Let's see. Oh, maybe it was a little higher. Not sure exactly. It's been a while since I plotted this out and I didn't label my chart. But to kind of simplify what this number would mean, right? 0.1 would mean that one Ethereum was 10% of a Bitcoin. I think that's totally reasonable. I think there's a lot of argument in the space that that's really what it should be valued at, and I agree with that. And to me, this just looks like reaccumulation confirmed with a break of structure, returning to origin. So this would lead to more confluence of Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin, aka alt season. Yeah, you can do settings for your trend lines. Oh yeah, Davey, you're about to be mind blown. Watch this. Look, so I can do this. You go in here, save as. So I have like breaks of structure, top, liquidity bottom, whatever. You can do it with anything. So I could do like when I do a fair value gap. Oh shit. High time frame fair value gap puts it right there. Beautiful. I'm actually about to go back to using these rectangles instead of the parallel channels. I'm actually going to clean up this chart a bit. Now, with that being said, I could see a bright future for Ethereum with this. I mean, this chart looks really, really good, right? It looks similar to crypto in general coming from pre-bull run, right? So let's just take a look at that just so you can. Looks similar to this, maybe a little bit less volatility in this, but I see the same structure. Basically, this was the reaccumulation, and here was that break of structure. Um, Similarities, right? You have the main break of structure up here. What is? Okay, I have different colored wicks. I was like, I could see something different. It's been a while since I've been on my scalping shit and used 2 charts, so I haven't edited this one. But you have this, break of structure. It's odd that the timeline actually kind of adds up too. If you see my cursor is at similar pivot points. Now, That really is kind of irrelevant. It's more or less just an observation. But looking at Ethereum, so let's go back to Ethereum on so what I think the near future holds for Ethereum. Okay. Depending on how we react really with this next daily candle that we're a part of. All right, what we need is a form of displacement in the market. And one way to identify that other than harsh rejections is maybe if you notice we have a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. If you break that cycle, that would indicate displacement in the market after being rejected from this high. And really, for the future, this would be just engineering more liquidity to go long. So it's nothing to worry about. But I do think we should, or not should, could see some retracements in Ethereum, right? And I'll tell you why. We have a ton of liquidity down below. We've engineered so much equal lows time and time again without getting cleared out, right? Here, here, very clear equal lows, right? We also have untapped order blocks, fair value gaps, more liquidity, and more fair value gaps. Really, this order block right here is where you started to see um, a lot of volume get pushed into the market before this huge expansion we've seen over the last a little under 2 weeks. Actually, it's been about 2 weeks, hasn't it? Now, that being said, this would lead to a very nice setup. I'm just plotting this here. I'll come back and revisit this. Personally, I'm not going to short, although I know like Flo fucking kills shorts and he plays reversals really well. And that's the importance to understanding your trading style. Like mine, personally, I'm gonna wait because I think the high time frame narrative um, is leaning to be more bullish unless something changes. And because of that, I'm going to wait till price comes into discount to long it. I don't really play retracements as much, right? I'm actually curious about something right here. Wow, how the fuck did I not notice that before? That's pretty funny. I don't know how I didn't notice this bat right here on the daily. The nice type 1 reaction. Um, that being said, I do think I want to see how I react to this level up here. All right. I'll tell you what you don't want to see is a nasty reaction to this right here. Right. And this is another key aspect I want people to take in. Even if the lower time frames are bullish, right? For instance, if we did something like this, right? Okay, bam, bam, and then you went to the downside. What that would indicate is that yes, we had bullish price action here, but it was just a retracement, right? Because think about it like this. There's four types of market structure, right? There's consolidation, expansion, retracement, and reversal. Market is always doing one of those things. So just because we're consolidating in a bullish manner in the low time frame could only mean that we are playing into the high time frame narrative, right? So always be mindful of that as well. You look at Bitcoin. Really nice if we could clean this up. But I have a feeling we're going to do a similar thing that Ethereum is doing and just form more liquidity to the upside, which, it is not bad, right, for bulls in crypto. Like I said earlier this week, I don't really like how Bitcoin is having trouble staying in premium, right? It's getting sold off pretty hard. But if we could either get a break of structure, really preferably this high, the major high right here, or the lower time frame ranges, that would mean a lot more to me than if we just, plummeted from here, right? In order for us to be looking for, new all-time highs or anything that crazy, we really need to break this major high that swung us down into this new range of 52,100. I think it's 5288 here. That's really what we're looking for. But a start would be to break these highs, right? That would be more or less confirmation that we're going to continue at least up to this region of 50K again. And yeah, I had fun in the last bull run. Yeah, we went fucking crazy in PlayBit. Dude, I swear I get so much fucking scam shit on Twitter. Like, if you even say the word MetaMask or anything along those lines. And it's crazy. Like, right now, there's tons of verified accounts that are just like all saying they're like Bored Apes founders and then fucking adding like 30, 40 people at one time. It makes no sense. But so sentiment right now for me, I mean, I'm still pretty bullish, but I will say this is not where you're aping into longs. I hope you're not, at least. Um, I just, yes, we might have one more push to the upside, but I mean, we've been eating, right? We've been eating all through this range, accumulating positions all through here, right? So don't get greedy. And like I alerted everybody in PlayBit today, we took major gains across a lot of plays, right? Um, Not because I think, oh, the market's going to dump, but because I've been around this block a couple times and I understand that trimming into strength is extremely important. People that learn this will last much longer and be much more profitable in any market, not just crypto, right? That's Forex, stocks, even assets that aren't traded or chartable, right? Once you are, the money's on the table, don't be greedy, right? We're approaching areas of liquidity in the form of clean highs, right? So we're getting to that external range liquidity on the lower time frames, right? Really the higher time frames if you're considering the 4 hour. Um, so expect to see reversals above these levels, right? So if we come up and take these out, I almost assume we're going to take this one out. But say if we do the same thing Ethereum looks like it's wanting to do, come up and double top, right? You're going to see that initial wave of profit taking, right? Why? Because people have their buy stops, aka breakout limits, set up here to where retail traders look at this like an ascending triangle. This is how retail is going to look at this, right? There's tons of liquidity on this trend line, right? Engineered. And then you have this, whatever you want to call it, resistance. This is why I don't trade this. This is how a lot of people are going to chart this. And people are going to tell them they're doing it right. And hell, who knows? It might work out. I don't know. But most of the time, what you're going to see is price push into this supply zone. The late longers are going to be exit liquidity for whales, right? Because remember, for every buyer, there has to be a seller and vice versa. So if whales want to sell, they got to do it where they can, right? Because if they want to just market sell and they have huge positions, they're going to get filled all over the place and it's going to make things much less profitable for them. But if they can come up to liquidity pools, that's where they're going to take their profits. And the ways to confirm this are maybe to set some alerts and come into low time frames and maybe plot out a change of trend, right? So here I went over this in a one-on-one with somebody today, actually. I think it was XTZ. Let's see, not STZ. Oops. Yeah. So let's go over this because it was actually a pretty good example. So with XTZ, right, from the top, we have this price range we're trading in right now, right? The strong high that sent us down to these swing lows. Automatically off rip, notice clean liquidity at the bottom of this range, right? To me, that's bearish. Why? Because just like I was explaining, the liquidity is engineered up here. You have huge liquidity in the form of stop losses down here, right? Everybody's going to sell out right here. Price goes under here, people are panicking, right? So that being said, we come down and we clear out this low right here. So I'm just going to explain a reversal play to you guys. So we came down and cleared that liquidity, right? So let's go back to this zone right here on the lower time frames. So how do you confirm? Like I was saying before, maybe set some alerts and get a confirmation that price is going to do what you need it to do, right? So first of all, you can come down to the 4-hour chart, and we're going to scale into this a little bit more. But what I want you to notice is that, yes, lows are getting cleared, stops are being ran, but followed by what? Breaks in structure. And we have our first break of structure there. So if you want to be even more sure about your setups, wait for 2 breaks of structure on the lower time frames or in these lower time frame ranges after reaching an area of supply or demand instead of setting a limit order, right? Looking back, let me show you where people would have set limits, and they probably would have it would have probably worked. Let's see. Oh yeah, back. So you could have drawn a fib from here, right? This old range we were in, and said, oh, hey, we have an order block right at equilibrium, right? Now, would this have worked? Yeah, but was it the best entry you could have got? And technically, if you took stops under this, you got stopped out, right? Now, was there a reversal inbound? Yes, but did you jump the ball or jump the gun? Yes. So, going back to how you can confirm these reversals. So now when you come down into these levels and dig into that old internal liquidity that hasn't been tapped yet, you'll look for 2 breaks of structure, right? So we have our first break of structure here. Let's go back on the 1 hour to make this a little clearer. So we have our first break of structure of this range right here, right? So then now, you've set your alerts, you're watching, right? And you could have done the same framework I'm doing right now on maybe the 5 minute or so down in this ballpark down here. Now you would have taken profits quicker because you always trade the time frame that you're doing TA on. This would have probably been your full take profit. Now, after this second break of structure, right? What are you looking for? How do you enter, right? Because now you've got confirmation. This is where you're starting to get ready. And you're looking for an entry, and it's pretty clear. I go over this in the video I released earlier today. Right there, you got your order block. Bigger bodied candle before an expansion that results in a break of structure. Now, this is going to provide you much better risk to reward than, say, setting limits, right? And maybe some of you guys, like myself, don't have all the time in the world to, wait around for these setups to unfold. Limits, there's nothing wrong with limits. I'd say 80% of the successful plays I give in PlayBit are limit orders, right? So we'll mark this up as a demand. So it's demand zone because all a order block is just another type of internal range liquidity, right? AKA supply or demand in this situation, demand. Now, how would you have played it, right? If you've been catching this, your stops would have been able to be under the most recent down candles wick low. Personally, usually I would play the low of this swing, right? Either one of these provided great risk reward. So then what? Let's go back and just do this. So I'm not going to get in here and type everything in, but you get the picture. So then how would you have taken profits on this, right? And this is something I see people, everybody wants, they say here, we mitigated, and they start like zooming out to like the daily time frame and going to the top of the range. That's just not how this works, right? Because remember, you found this trade, you're playing a high time frame reversal, but you did get entry from the low time frame. So you're going to be taking profits pretty quickly on most of your position, right? So right here, you have your strong high relative to the time frame you're trading on, right? You've got your order block right here. So that would be one take profit. You'd have a take profit recent highs, right? Liquidity there. Oops. Right. You would have been taking profits even here because I see a lot of people that are good at trading, but they don't know how to exit. And that's obviously the most important part, really. Finding an entry isn't all that hard. It's knowing when to take profits and how much to take that a lot of people are unclear on, right? So you have these 2 profit order. At this point, you're hitting above 1-to-1. You could set stops to break even, right? Looking at the higher time frames, You know, sure, you could look for any equal highs above, right? But the majority of your trade would be done here at this strong high. Why? Because that high is what sent us into a new range, and there's a huge potential for a reversal above this old high. And this is all, you know, nothing's confirmed until it happens, but you want to make sure you're not overexposing yourself. There's no reason to be greedy, especially with this kind of trade. I mean, is this, 7.6 R, and that was using a stop loss that was bigger than a lot of people would use. Um, and especially if you go up to these higher ranges, right? So, see how the trade went, played out. I didn't take this trade, by the way. This is literally, I went back in time basically, and so the trade went through, and it's okay, right? Now, this was a perfectly executed play of a reversal, right? You got a much better entry than, say, if I think that other order block was, we didn't. I think it's somewhere over here in this region, right? Probably would have gotten stopped out. But this is how you can scale in and really get true confirmation, not structure, but two. And always take profits relative to the time frame that you're trading. This is an amazing trade, right? If you enter this and you trade like I do and you risk 2% of your portfolio, you are in pretty heavy in this trade, right? When you're in heavy in a trade that runs 40%, um, you're doing good. You know, you could be done trading for the week if you wanted to. And that's really how this should be done. You don't have to trade every day. You don't have to continuously scalp. You make your money and you get out and chill and reflect on what you did right. And I don't know, go enjoy yourself because this is meant to be passive. And I'll tell you that the more passive that you make trading, oftentimes the better you'll become. I'm not saying don't spend time applying yourself and learning in the beginning, but I am saying the better you become at trading, the less trades you take and the less time you spend staring at a chart because you know what you're looking for. And if it's there, and you play it. And if it's not, then you have no problem sitting this one out. So that's how you would play a reversal. Now, let's go ahead and just get all this going. And see, yeah, we didn't take it the absolute top, right? But I mean, to be fair, you got pretty close. And if you see price reversed impulsively from not far after you take profit. So this is how you would properly execute it. Not be one of those guys who did this and was holding, more than 50% of his position only to see it come back down and get stopped at break even. Right? So how could you, I'm going to delete some of this stuff. Too much shit on our chart. So I'm not necessarily going to play this just yet. I just plotted it out. I will have an alert set because I'm going to do exactly what I just showed you guys how to do. That's how I would enter this trade. Why? Because it's a reversal. Well, you're playing a retracement, I guess. But these are lower probability trade setups. So in order to make them high probability, you wait for confirmation. If you guys ever see me say, "Oh, I'm waiting for confirmation," that's what I mean. What I just showed you guys. Now, here, the main reason is we have liquidity right up above these highs. So, your stop loss, the way I would play this would be above this high right here. If we saw bearish price action start to form in the lower time frames, confirmed by not one but two breaks of structure, right? And I just now seen this. Yeah, the low time frame low time frame limits. I mean, it's not really a matter of whether they get filled or not most of the time. It's fine to have them not get filled. Like, don't ever, worry about your order, not getting filled. That's totally fine. No harm done. Because a lot of people want to look at like potential money, like, oh, I lost money. Like I hear people like, well, it's still a loss because I missed out on a trade. That's a dangerous ass mentality because that's not the case. And I miss out on trades all the fucking time, right? Like DeFi, we had limits for that. It fucking flew. I'll go back and show you guys. But do I care? Not really, right? Does that suck? Sure. Right? Nobody likes to see that. But I didn't lose any money. No harm done, right? Gonna happen. The more picky you are with trading, that's gonna happen more. But that's a good thing. So with this trade, I'd be looking to play the order block that sent us down from this range where we are engineering buy side liquidity, right? So in reality, I think we have more liquidity to the downside, right? We have these major lows here. On the way up, there's been more liquidity engineered, and then if you look on the daily time frame, all the way back in this range, really this is the only unmitigated order block, right? And a lot of you guys are probably looking at this and you say, "Oh, well, this is the unmitigated order block." Well, I disagree. Why? Because there's a larger bodied candle in the same cluster was also right before an expansion of the upside. And you see we had reaction to this candle. That was the order block there. And I mean, obviously that speaks for itself. So really one of the only unmitigated levels, right? It was also after a higher low. I know it doesn't look like it, but if you look on what's going on right here was your higher low, right? So that's more reason for price move for the downside. If we can get a nice bearish reaction, right? Also remember that this is, sorry, draw this here. This high is in premium, right? Actually, I would probably draw this like this. Either way, it's going to be in premium. But the entry would be in premium, right? Because if you're looking for shorts, you're wanting to enter where? In premium, right? So something I'll be waiting on. It's not like set in stone that I'm going to play it, but we'll see. I have alert set. If you guys want any TA done, just drop some coins in the comments and I got you. I'll look at ApeCoin. Just have the random urge to look at ApeCoin. God, so much better just to do this. Oh yeah, ton of liquidity on the upside. Also, you could say this is kind of your cup and handle right here. Yeah, this actually doesn't look bad. I would look for a little more downward action here. Oh yeah, that's nice reaction. Honestly, this really doesn't look bad. I'll probably look for some longs on Ape here soon. What I'm going to do for now is going to draw a long right here. Set an alert. Hopefully I'm around my computer when this happens. I've been waiting to play Ape. This looks good though. Wouldn't really count on that one. Really, I would still say this is going to be liquidity up here though. Yeah, I like this setup. How big is this stop loss? It's probably really big. Wow, it's actually not that bad. Let me just plot this out. It's a decent little trade. Could probably fine tune this just a tad though. What I'm doing right now is I'm scaling in to see if I can find, maybe a lower time frame order block with a fair value gap above. Any unmitigated liquidity would give me maybe a better entry on this, considering the stop loss is kind of high, and I'm maybe seeing it right now. And so we have some liquidity under this, strong low right here, right? So go back out to that 15-minute. I think there's an order block right there. Yeah, there is. So the way I would play this, go ahead and delete this. Delete this, right? I like this setup. Also got this though. And to be honest, the reason, let me do this as well. Okay, I don't even know what, I forget I'm on ape. I was about to try daily range. Let's do this. Yeah, both are obviously in discount, no matter how you chart this. Actually, that lower one is if you chart it like that. I like this much better. And so this is how you really fine tune entries, right? And for instance, who knows? This might get left behind. I don't know. What I'll probably do actually is go ahead and reset. What was it? I found that order block, the 4-hour, right? I'm gonna set an alert just to keep an eye on this. But this is where I would be interested in taking longs on ape. Why? Because it's going to give me a better risk reward where I can actually get a good position, considering as I don't really see this as going to take too long to play out if it does play out how we want it to. Another thing, if you're looking at it like a return to origin, you are coming right back under equilibrium. This level is in discount. And then if you want to look at it from a retail perspective, we have this cup and handle going on here, which cup and handles love to move back down to 50%. And really why is because a cup and handle is just a return to origin. It's accumulation and discount, expansion, reaccumulation falling into that return to origin order block. Tag me in crypto chat. My bad, I've been sucked into the chart. I haven't even been looking. 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and post this up for you guys. I'll go to Discord and see what's up. right, would you tag me in, Davey? Oh, and Adam right here. Yeah, I like this actually. I'm gonna look into it on my chart. So you're on like the day or the 12-hour. Should I go ahead and do a 4-hour? So you had your spring right before, looks like. Okay, so your spring really is the completion of the shark. I just haven't drawn it out. Your break of structure, it looks like it's right here, which I agree with. You came up into supply and saw rejection, which is okay. It's totally fine. So we've mitigated that supply, and it looks like we have more liquidity to the upside up here, form of equal highs. Right. Also, equilibrium of an old breaker block. I'm going to look at some other coins you guys asked as well. But so now I see you're looking at, is this right here? Somewhere like right here. Is this your spring? Yeah, it is. So you're looking at something in this zone, I'm assuming. Probably here, or around along these lines, right? I'm going to scale it and show you what I would think. So, right, because remember, it's similar to that reversal, right? We were talking about earlier. You're waiting for what? Not one, but two breaks of structure, right? So right here, you've got your first one. And right here, you got your second one, right? So remember, like we just said in the last example, we wait for two breaks of structure, and then we play what? A return down to that level. It seems like I'm pretty sure you have the same level, but it's just on a different time frame. So you've got the literally perfect idea. I like it. I'd play it personally. If you wanted to get technical with it, I would use this candle right here. This actually looks really good. Now, where would you look to take profits with this? Right. Well, for one, you've got liquidity all the way up here. So at this point, you're just looking at highs, right, on the higher time frames. So you've got this major high right here. And then you've got whatever other highs the market gives us. I would take highs of here as well. And then considering this is a shark pattern, if we are, I would already hit 0.5. Never mind. So, yeah, I would really just be looking at highs on the higher time frame ranges. I like this stop loss though for this one. I mean, you could swing that stop loss like how you're doing. I do that often, but technically you wouldn't have to make it as big. I mean, theoretically speaking, you'd go under this low, but I mean that's just kind of, you know. I mean, how you technically are supposed to do it, but with crypto and the volatility we see, I don't blame you for putting your stop loss a little lower. Also, we've got liquidity just under. So if anywhere, it'd be where you have it or just under this wick low. Let me see. Let me go back to YouTube comments. So Gaul, we went over Gaul a little bit last time, if I remember correctly. That looked good. If I'm remembering correctly. Go to a untainted chart. So, I mean, this, I'll just go ahead and tell you, this looks really, yeah, I remember looking at this. I mean, you look really good here, right? I think there was some liquidity we needed to clear out before moving to the upside. Yeah. All right, you're looking probably, hopefully, to come down here. Probably order block somewhere in this wick. Let's go back. So you got one break of structure there. I mean, your initial reversal play has already been playing out very nicely. It's also in liquidity, right? I mean, I wouldn't say this is necessarily required to come back, but I would rather it come back here before I wanted to play it again, right? Another area you could look at is this higher low here with this order block. Maybe let's go to a 4 hour just to see what it looks like there, right there. Right? So you could be looking for, I think the market is going to retrace here soon. I hope it does, right? Because if you want to have these sustainable, huge expansions price to the upside, you got to have retracement. And plus, I mean, fuck, do you guys not want another entry? All right, there we go. I'm back now. Dude, I swear, fucking AT&T, never ever get AT&T internet. Like, they claim that I have fiber and I have fucking gig internet, and it crashes almost every time I stream. Um, but anyways, I don't know where you guys lost me at, but what I was saying, I wouldn't be surprised if crypto does crypto things and makes one final push up here for this supply in this order block, and then retraces. But if I were looking to go long, I mean, going on a daily chart, I mean, you're pretty still in discount. I mean, really, this would be, I mean, I would have drawn it like this before. Honestly, I'd probably actually do this. This is what I would have. So yeah, I'd be waiting for maybe rejection here. I wouldn't be playing middle of this range like this. It does look good. If you're in this, don't worry, right? If I'm holding Gala equity, I'm totally a happy camper right now, but I'm not looking for leverage longs. TAM block. Fuck me pretty good. Yeah, see that. Yeah, actually, it looks like it reacted. If you got in, what you said is 0.1, I'm guessing right here somewhere. Yeah, that's a really good entry. So let's go back. Right, on the 4 hour, right? This was an order block at a higher low, right? We had the higher low. I mean, this was really the last mitigation that needed to happen. I mean, I don't see, if you go lower than this, I mean, you're going down to, I guess, all-time lows on KuCoin. But Here you had that obvious confirmation. You got breaks of structure on high time frames, much less low, and then you came back down. Let's see, hold on. So you had your first break of structure, probably here, second. I mean, this was regardless of what you were playing. This was your area right for entry right here. All right, so you came down, dug into this demand zone. Seems like you're engineering. Hold on. A lot of liquidity down there. Now, obviously, this shit's flying, so I wouldn't worry about this too much. Just, oops. For right now, you've got forget shift just makes these expand. I'd be looking for price to come up into this zone right here, most likely. Looks like it's going to want to do it soon, but this is where if he's in this for long term, he just likes the coin, great. But if he was, say, if this was his, a trade for him, like a leverage trade, you'd be taking profits up here at this 187 zone heavily and leaving it right. I mean, he'd be up almost 100% there. He should probably take 50% there, and regardless if he's in it for the long term, personally, I think he should trim up here. If not, if he hasn't already. Yeah, but Dave, I like that fucking Atom setup. That shit looks good. Atom has a lot of fundamental stuff going on for it as well. I think it's crazy how the not really crazy, but the NFT rug pull guys. Um, I was actually looking at Embers. The funny thing, I was like, oh, this shit could run, but the Discord's was kind of scammy. And then literally, I'm sure you guys, some of you may have not, but there's two guys from California got indicted by the feds for conspiracy to commit money laundering and wire fraud just for a rug pull, right? Which is huge, right? Because it's just showing that this is real. It's a real asset class. And NFTs are now being recognized, just like say real estate or anything else. You can't just commit fraud like that, and they're actually enforcing it. So I think that is a good thing for the space. And some people may love to be pessimistic, say like, "Oh yeah, because NFTs are scams and this and that." But what it shows is that that shit people aren't going to just get away with that, right? Why? Because it's a serious asset class. It's real, right? Whether you think it's stupid or not, NFTs are a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? The fact that we have the feds going after people who are doing rug pulls, I mean, that's crazy. I'm sure that they're not going to be the first people that they hit, right? I think the only reason they even hit them was because Embers was due to launch tomorrow. Actually, they got hit yesterday. And Embers, I mean, their Discord's buzzing. Everybody was fighting for a whitelist spot, and they were 0.3 Ethereum a mint, and everybody was going to get screwed. So, yeah, I think that's a crazy thing. A lot of people aren't really giving that the attention that I think it deserves. This isn't crypto related, but fucking Grand Theft Auto released a premium subscription service for Grand Theft Auto Online. They don't even give a fuck to look like they just are a cash grab. Like they just don't even care. I know that's not crypto related. I just saw that on Twitter. But let me peek back and see if you guys have any other requests. What about copyright shit then? Copyright infringement. Yeah, it is, but I think it's going to be a harder. That's more of a civil suit. It's not. Uh, it's not like rug pulling. You're literally committing fraud, right? You have quote a DAO, and then they're swindling people out of investing into something in the hope and promise that there's a utility from the investment, and they're running away with the money and ghosting people. That's different than stealing someone's idea. Now, I'm not saying that stealing someone's idea isn't fucked up, but I am saying that it is a civil matter, right? Like for instance, like if your business does something fucked up, right? They don't hold their end up of a contract. You get sued. You don't go to jail. Now, if you just lie and swindle people out of money for an investment, yeah, that's how you go to jail. So that's where the difference there is. And OpenSea is like a fucking pathetic I really hope like Looks Rare or somebody like, I fucking hate OpenSea for multiple reasons. Like it's just a whole fucked up um, thought for me to even okay, NFTs are supposed to be decentralized. Well, how the fuck are they decentralized when the highest volume exchange is super centralized, right? OpenSea has been disconnecting users from certain countries, trying to geofence their users, which is completely against crypto. Another thing too, like I saw today, somebody had the ETH domain Calvin Klein, and they delisted it, saying it was not approved. It's like how like what the fuck happened? Like this is supposed to be decentralized. Like they just said fuck Web3. So that kind of shit, I just hate to see it. So I hope that OpenSea probably won't, but I hope they fall, or at least their share of the market is heavily distributed to like Looks Rare. I wish that Looks Rare, if it could fix some of its issues, I think would have no problem beating out OpenSea. I mean, you literally get rewarded in Looks, their token, from using the platform, and I don't want to say it's fully decentralized because I haven't done a ton of research on it, but definitely more so than fucking OpenSea. And also short on Luna. Um, I'll just be honest with you off top. I'd be scared to short Luna because of all the fundamental stuff that it has going on right now. Although this does look like a short, I'll tell you. I can see what you're seeing, but I just I don't know. The I'll always go with the charts, so I don't want to downplay that. But fuck, man, Luna is a fucking demon, dude. I got Scarbs was in here. He'd tell you one time we got fucked shorting Luna. Has nothing to do with this right here, but um, you said your entry is from 94. So you're pretty. Oh yeah, you got a good entry. I mean, I could see price come right back up to your entry for sure. Right? I could see it. You've came down, mitigated this, right? Seems like you have. Maybe you haven't actually. You could probably come down a little longer or a little more, right? Get that fair value gap falling in this order block. You're like a 15-minute. Okay, I don't know what I did with my box, but I can see you coming down right here. Oh, you did. Never mind. Yeah, I could see you making a push back up to one of these areas right here. So don't get freaked out if you do. And your stop you said is 95 or 95.90. Assuming above this high up here. Really you could put your stop actually no, I'd probably have my stop there too. I mean, you've already trimmed. I hope you just trim some if you've already trimmed. If you haven't trimmed anything, like just even where we're at now, just even if we continue, don't be mad at yourself. But just in case, right? You have some gains on the table. And you're up pretty good from 94 bucks. I'm shorting. You're kind of playing against the trend, right? So you want to take profits. way quicker. Like you should have taken profits right here at this low. You should also have taken profits at this order block. All right. After that, you could probably, if you had taken profits at these areas, right, really this order block, this low, and this order block as well. After that, you could swing down all the way down to here, like $82. Take most of your trade there, and then just hold the rest. But like I said with Luna, and just the whole Terra ecosystem, I mean, how Do Kwon is talking about buying billions of dollars in Bitcoin and reverting UST to the Bitcoin standard, which for those of you who understand that, what that means, that's fucking huge for the crypto world as far as just remaining decentralized, to have an actual stable coin that's backed by a decentralized asset. USDC is frantic right now. DAI is frantic right now, right? Um, I think that UST is going to take out a lot of the other stable coins for DeFi. Once big money always sees value, right? And the value in crypto is not only blockchain technology, but decentralization. And how decentralized is DeFi without decentralized stable money? And DAI had this on point before, but they changed what it was collateralized by, right? Now it's collateralized heavily by USDC, which is centralized as fuck. It's literally Circle Pay. So do some research on that. I think that if you're short in Luna, just be taking profits quickly. Right? I would be fully out of this trade probably down here, $82. If not, maybe like a 10% runner. I would take profit and leave stop at the same place. I mean, personally, if it were me, I would probably put stops at break even, but it's valid to leave stops where you had them, right? Maybe if you're trimming heavier, leave stops where you had them. If you're trimming lighter, move stops to break even. And even if you get stopped at break even, like you said, I don't know if you said you enter entries from 94, because you could very well easily see price return right to your entry, right? I mean, like literally, like $94 and 1 penny. So that's up to you. I'd probably actually move my stop if it's not at break even. I'd probably put it at the top of this wick, which is like 94.88. But yeah, I got you, fam. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. It's Friday night, so I'm gonna go get some drinks, chill with my girl, and hop off the charts. I encourage you all to do the same. I appreciate you guys hopping in the stream, and if you got any questions, just at me on Twitter, DM me, whatever. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.